Yeah, I would agree with everything you said, Sean.
Let's see what this is more of a test of will than it is of anything else here. She certainly has the strength.
All right, needs this to post a total.
Much better. Much better. There you go. Much better. There you go. All right. Yeah, I mean, that was good. That was, you see, you know, she minimized all the shenanigans in the recovery, and there you go. A good jerk.
And we'll take a look at that replay while we're watching that. Sean, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about and remind the viewers at home that you're pulling double duty this week, not only as a color commentator, which we all love, but as a coach.
And we're watching the warm-up area. My team is in charge of the warm-up area.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, the training hall. So triple duty.
All right, this will bring up the first attempt for Solveig Sigurdardóttir of Iceland, opening at 103 kilograms.
I thought everybody was Thor's daughter over there. I guess there's more than one father over there.
Oh. Yeah, it didn't look like she got a lot of drive there on the jerk portion.
A little disconnected in the jerk.
Sigurdardóttir is perhaps better known, we'll watch the replay here, as a CrossFit Games athlete where she's competed as part of the CrossFit Reykjavik team.
That was a good clean.
It was a really good clean.
Yeah, it looks like she pushed a little bit early with her arms, kind of push her away from the bar.
Yeah.
So in the jerk, you know, you really have to roll. The arms have to be the last thing that becomes active once you've driven the bar with your legs. Then after you finish the drive, then your arms and feet move together. So it looks like she got a little early with the arms there.
You know, you don't see a lot of Icelandic athletes miss jerks. They're generally extremely strong overhead.
Really?
That might be the first one I've seen in international competition, actually.
This is not the best time to start a new trend. Let's go. And she's going to be following her. She's going to be following herself unless they. Yeah, no.
All right, there's a change. So that'll bring up her teammate, Aradóttir.
Which I think is a good call. I mean, she didn't miss that jerk because it was heavy. She just missed it because it was a little uncoordinated. So I think that giving her a little bit more rest is certainly a good call.
All right, one of her coaches today is Björk Odensdottir, who actually competed for Iceland yesterday in the competition. Aradóttir, 104 kilograms on the barbell. We've seen her go heavier than this at the Nordic Championships before. Her opening attempt looked pretty solid at 100 kilos.
Good clean. Very good. Good solid attempt. Very nice.
All right, she's still got one attempt left. Check out the replay here.
She's strong.
Good looking lift. And that'll bring up the second attempt for her teammate, Sigurdardóttir.
She's not wasting any time.
No.
Relax the arms. A little better.
All right, that'll be a good lift for her. We'll take a look at the replay. Almost suffered from the same thing as on her first attempt, Sean. Was able to make it work, but
she just did it a little bit better, but not. She still is pushing a little early with the arms, but not enough for her miss. Living on the edge there. on her next attempt, she's got to figure that out, or else she's going to push it out in front again.
Now, Sean, yesterday you had a lifter set a new American record total. That was Caitlin Hogan.
I did.
And how long is that? How long have you been working with Caitlin? And you know, what are some of the differences coaching an elite lifter like that, you know, in local and national competition versus international competition?
Well, I've been working with Caitlin for a little over 2 years, and she comes from CrossFit. She was a high-level CrossFit athlete beforehand, and sorry, the difference between working with them.
Between coaching on, say, the national level and on the international level.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing the snatch and clean jerk. You know, the stage that you do it on is really less important. You approach things a little the same way. The first part of the development is teaching them how to do the snatch and clean and jerk, and then the second part is getting them stronger to be able to do more in the snatch and clean and jerk. So right now with Caitlin, we're still in the process of teaching her how to snatch and clean and jerk, which is great because that means she has a large room for development. So I think her best is certainly yet to come, and but I approach her the same way I approach the athletes that you might never hear about from my gym. You know, the process is very similar. When you get to the elite level, there are certain things that might be different in the training. Once you've mastered the technique, then it becomes a little bit of a different thing. So we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there.
All right, with that, it'll bring up Sigurda Daughter of Iceland, her third and final attempt in the clean and jerk.
She just doesn't waste any time. All right, gonna relax those arms. That's better.
Wow.
That was a great lift.
That was a gutsy attempt there. Has to sink. Watch her back knee on the replay here. Really has to sink deeply into that split, but able to come away with it.
You know, I love to see that because very often what we'll see is athletes will keep that back leg stiff. Or she came dangerously close from touching the ground.
You can't touch the ground with your back knee.
Now if her knee hit the ground, it would have been a no lift.
Yeah.
But that was a great adjustment. Good for her.
And a big thank you to all the USA Weightlifting volunteers, loaders, staff this week here in Anaheim, including a bunch of volunteers and folks from the team at Waxman's Gym who made the trip.
Yeah, I mean it's been an interesting week or so. I have had to pretty much close down my gym because I have nobody to work there or go there. They're all here, which is great. I'm happy to do it.
All right, this bring up Macrohan of the Philippines.
I had the opportunity to see we hosted the Philippine team at my gym leading up to the World, so I got a chance to see her train.
Really incredible lockout there on the jerk.
Yes.
You know, we've seen her even this year go significantly heavier. Actually, back in September in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan, she did 121 kilos.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
Opened at 111 in that competition, missed her second attempt after a 5-kilo jump, took another 5-kilo jump and made it.
That's great.
So, you know, interested to see kind of where she ends up. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 5 or 6 kilo jump between that and her next attempt.
Watching her train, she's certainly strong. She had really strong legs. So when you tell me that she did 120, I have no doubt.
All right, and the lift will become Apollonia Vaivai of Fiji. The heaviest we've seen her go in international competition is 116, and this is her heaviest opener in recent memory and heaviest at this weight category.
Let her do her thing here. I think during this World Championships, it looks like some of the athletes are opening up fairly high, and I don't and missing, which is something you never want to do on your opener. I don't know why for this year's Worlds it seems like there's been a little bit more misses than normal. I don't know if it's because of weight selection or travel, or maybe because it's not it's early in the quad.
Yep.
So
not a qualifier year,
right,
as next year and the year after will be.
Right.
So kind of a little bit less to lose, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, right. Maybe exactly. Maybe it's a little bit less to lose, so people are taking some more chances.
All right, third and final attempt for Ara Daughter. She's perfect so far on the clean and jerks.
And this is a big jump for her.
7 kilos, yeah.
Well, there was a big jump.
Too big today. All right.
I would imagine that was for a PR or something, because she was smiling as she came off the stage. So
that would have been a 2-kilogram competition PR for Ara Daughter. So why not go for it?
Why not? Like you say, nothing to lose.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we will bring up Palacios, the only youth lifter in this session of Ecuador. She's the 2-time reigning youth world champion. So don't let her age fool you. She's got a lot of experience.
And she has some grit, because she missed her second attempt in the snatch at 94, and then goes up to 95 and makes it. It's a great sign. Very nice.
Makes that look like a toy overhead.
That was a good, solid opener.
All right, 112 for her, and we have seen her go as heavy as 120 before, which she did at the Junior Worlds this past year in Tokyo, where she finished 4th.
She's only 17 years old, so this is an athlete with a very bright future.
Great looking lift for her. All right, automatic increase, but looks like we probably will have a change.
Yeah, she is definitely not coming out at 113 again.
No. She almost power cleaned that one, Sean.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm very impressed. I know she hasn't been up yet, but with the Indian team, really starting to gel as a team, winning, I believe, their first World Championship yesterday or the day before.
It was definitely the first in about 20 years. It might have been the first ever. I remember we were covering that on barbend.com. I don't remember the exact specifics of that, but
I had the honor of commentating that session, and one of the members of the IWF board is from India, and when she dropped her last clean and jerk, he got up and he was crying and clapping, and there was an Indian contingent behind him, and a contingency behind him, and it was a really touching moment. And they were up all night partying and kept Caitlin Hogan up all night, because they were all on the 4th floor, which is okay. I mean, you can't fault them for that.
All right, this will bring up Wynn Teavana of Vietnam. She's one of 2 junior lifters in this session, junior or youth lifters in this session. 115 on the barbell.
Vietnam started very strong in this competition on the first day and had some problems yesterday.
Very controlled first pull there.
Yeah. Not a good attempt in the jerk.
No. All right, we'll see her now for her second attempt here shortly. I like the clean a lot there. Maybe a little struggle standing up with it.
Yeah, you see the knees come in. It's not. You see that sometimes happen. I don't know if it's an indication of something wrong, but the fact that she missed a jerk like that, it looks like she might be lacking a little bit of leg strength. You know, if the knees come in on the recovery and you just stick the jerk, the leg strength isn't a problem.
All right, let's bring up Macrohon of the Philippines. Second attempt. Looked pretty strong on her first attempt at 110.
Like I said, she's really strong. I've seen it firsthand. Yeah, it's very nice. Oh, I'm surprised at that, actually.
Yeah, looks like it might have pushed it away from her a little bit right there off the chest. Let's take a look at that replay. Clean was no issue.
Yeah,
great rebound at the clean.
Yeah, certainly not a strength issue in the jerk. Looks like timing might have been off. Like you said, pushed out in front of her a little bit. Yeah, just slightly. It looks like it was heading right in the exact position. Just at the last second, kind of pushed herself away. I'm fairly certain she's come back and make that.
And let's bring up Apollonia Vaivai, her second attempt. 4 kilos up on her opener.
Good clean. Yeah, that was my fear, especially after seeing her first jerk. You know, you really have to drive the bar high in the jerk. You can't rely on kind of sneaking under. It's just not a lift that you can manage.
Stopping that downward momentum is just
not with your legs split like that. It's just too difficult. I don't care how strong you are. When those legs are split, there's a point of no return. And she reached it.
All right, let's bring up the second attempt for Wynn Teavana. She does need this in order to. She has 2 attempts left, but is yet to be successful in the clean and jerk. We haven't had any bomb outs in this session yet.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. But you know, the way that first lift looked, it's. I have my doubts, but I hope she can bring it together. That's much better clean. There we go. Okay.
Where was that? Where was that on the first attempt?
Right, as a coach, that just drives you nuts. But now that's a great example. So her knees came together on the recovery, but she stood right up quickly, didn't struggle, and then no problem in the jerk.
Take a look at this replay. Now, Sean, just to give folks a preview of the rest of the week, you're certainly not done as a color commentator and not done as a coach.
No, I have an athlete in the 90 kilo class. She'll be competing on Monday in the A session, and myself and JP Nicoletta will be handling a large portion of the commentating for the rest of the worlds.
Do you have athletes at the American Open next weekend as well?
I do. Not too many. Only on Sunday, thankfully. I'll get a chance to see Disneyland.
All right, Macrohon, her third and final attempt.
Yes. Relax the arms. There we go. Great lockout. I love that.
Has to play a little fancy footwork with it, but she comes away with a good lift. So,
but if you're locked out overhead like she is, you have the ability to move around a little bit because the bar isn't going to go anywhere. But if you don't have that real strong lockout up top, any kind of movement is really going to put you in jeopardy of missing the lift. That's a great lift. That's a great comeback. Good for her.
All right, she will be credited with a 200 kilogram total today, so pretty good day at the office for her. And with that, the final attempt for Apollonia Vaivai.
Now she's got to really do a better job of driving the bar in the jerk, or else we might see our first knee touch.
Don't think you're going to sneak that by these judges here at the World Championships.
A butt touch is difficult to see, but a knee touch, I got to imagine a little bit easier. That's a great clean. Drive the bar. That's better. That's better. Good lift.
All right. Looking great with that. We'll bring up the second attempt for Palacios of Ecuador. Again, the two-time reigning youth world champion. This was her last year of eligibility as a youth, so next year she'll age into becoming a junior, which sounds a little bit weird to say.
That's right. I'm really looking forward to seeing her development over the years. Good lift.
All right, 3 white lights for her.
I imagine she's going to go to 20.
Take a look at this replay.
Just a solid, well-executed lift. She's been well coached.
Ecuador, one of those countries in the Pan American Federation that's been pretty consistently performing well over the past few years.
They've always had at least 1 or 2 lifters, that are high performers.
They had a really good presence at Pan Ams earlier this year,
Yes.
which we were lucky enough to be at and do some commentary on. I didn't do any coaching there, though. That was all Sean.
Well, you carried the heavy load of the commentary.
Hey, talking about weightlifting can be exhausting if you do it for long enough.
Well, let me tell you something. That's not an exaggeration. It's not an exaggeration.
All right, now with that, we're entering the back portion of this clean and jerk series here, and we only have 5 lifts left. 3 of them belong to Yadav of India. She was the only lifter to go 3 for 3 in the snatch portion, carrying a 3-kilogram lead in this B session out of the snatches. So we'll see her open at 120 kilos here.
Very impressed with the Indian team. I really am.
30 seconds on the clock. She doesn't seem too worried about it.
Not too worried. I, on the other hand, as a coach, would be pulling my hair out at about this moment.
Well, yesterday, Caitlin had a few lifts where she really ran the clock down to like 10 or 9 seconds.
Right, that's not my preference. But it's just the way things worked in the back. It's a little chaotic back there. It's going to be a good lift, but not a lot of margin of error there.
Yeah, and she's one of those lifters we see take a really wide regrip.
Yes.
Check that out in the replay here.
My concern is the rigidity of the lockout wasn't great. And one of the judges agreed. She doesn't have great flexibility overhead, which I think is the reason for that wide grip.
All right, and this will bring out Wynn Teavana for her 3rd and final attempt. Was not successful with her opener, made her 2nd, and then is taking a pretty healthy 5-kilo jump here at 120.
And that lift by the Indian lifter pretty much secured her the victory in the B session, I would imagine. Yes. Boy, what happened on that first one?
I don't know. She never really seemed to get it to full extension overhead and lost it behind her. But, hey, her jerks looked great there. Yeah,
Those last 2 attempts looked great. Good for her.
And she will end the day with a 213-kilo total, just 3 lifts remaining. And we will now see Palacios of Ecuador coming out for her 3rd and final attempt.
I would Matt, is this near PR for her?
We can check on that. Give me just a second. This would tie her competition, her PR. Actually, no, I believe she has done this. I think she might have done this at the Pan American Championships earlier this year.
Nice lift. Beautiful. Nice job.
At no point in that lift did the weight look particularly heavy for her.
No.
That's one of the great things about watching youth athletes. Sometimes they make it look easy, and you know there's even more in the tank.
Yes. Well, as a coach with a youth athlete, you have to understand that they're still developing. They're not fully formed yet. So you have to be mindful of how heavy you push and how much you push them. It's not the goal is to push at that age. It's to get those repetitions in, get that time in, so that their body hardens enough to be able to lift with the senior lifters. You can't treat a youth lifter like a senior lifter. It's a big problem if that's happening. And you're gonna dampen or you're gonna dampen their development. I don't know if dampen is the right word.
Inhibit, slow, quell.
You're gonna quell their development.
Vocab lessons with Sean Waxman. All right, second attempt for Yadav.
Yeah, she's just it's hammered and clean. Oh, yeah, see, that was my fear. So there's a rule in weightlifting that you can't make a false attempt in the jerk. And sometimes, now she did. I'm not saying she did that, but when she tried to readjust, you can get a judge to look at that and say she was trying to make an attempt at the jerk, and they could call her. So you'll see it right here. So that could have been construed as an attempt.
Borderline, yeah. You will see some lifters that you're allowed to readjust your hands. You're allowed to have some movement there, but that was right on the edge there, I think.
Yes.
All right, 2-minute clock. She will be falling herself. This will be the final lift of the women's 69-kilogram B session here in Anaheim. A lot more action yet to come. The A session for this weight class coming tomorrow afternoon.
With our very own USA's Maddie Rogers.
The United States looking to end a bit of a medal drought at Worlds. It's been, you have to go back to 2005 to find the last time an American weightlifter won a medal at the World Championships, and that was Cheryl Hayworth, who has been joining us in the color commentary booth throughout the week and will continue to do so. I think, do you have a session with her later this week, Sean?
With
Cheryl? No, I think that, I think.
No, I don't.
No, hopefully at a future competition then. Cheryl is a fantastic weightlifter, coach, a legend in American weightlifting.
And a world record holder, youth world record holder.
Yeah, current youth world record holder. And that was for her 125-kilogram snatch that she made at the 2000 Olympic Games. That is a youth world record. She did that when she was 17.
And has not been broken. Her numbers, even as a senior, still hold up today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
She would still be in the medals in some Worlds or Olympics with her numbers that she did however many years ago. Just a testament to how good of a lifter she was.
She still holds all the American records for the super heavyweight category.
Yes, she does. An incredible athlete, incredible.
And a great color commentator. All right, final lift of the session, 125 kilos on the bar.
I don't know if anything's going to change here. I hope it does.
Very similar to the second attempt, Sean.
Yeah, I just after that first attempt, I didn't see any more that she was able to do.
Well, with that, this lift, we'll check out the replay, but that will conclude the 69-kilogram B session for the women here in Anaheim. For Barbend.com, the official media partner of USA Weightlifting, I'm David Tao, joined by Sean Waxman of Waxman's Gym. Sean, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a real pleasure getting a session in with you at the World Championships.
Thank you, David. Safe travels, and we'll do this.